Hello everyone. Today, I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called The Price of Dreams, and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. In a poor fishing village by the sea, lived a young girl named Emily. At 19 years old, she lived with her sickly mother in a small, dilapidated wooden house. While other young people left the village to find work in the big city, Emily had a different dream. She wanted to open a tropical fruit juice shop, using the abundant fruits of her hometown to serve tourists. However, the reality was harsh. Emily had no capital, no machinery, and no shop. One afternoon, looking at the ripe mangoes falling around the base of a tree that no one bothered to pick, Emily sighed to her mother, "Mom, I want to build the future from these fruits, but we are too poor. How can I possibly start?" Her mother smiled weakly and said, "Emily, the sea gives no free fish to anyone. Fishermen must weave nets, build boats, and face storms. If you want to start, don't wait for someone to give you money. Start with your own 2 hands." Her mother's words woke Emily up. She realized she didn't have money, but she had her health. The next morning, instead of sleeping in, Emily woke up at 3 a.m. She walked deep into the forest to pick the freshest mangoes, pineapples, and coconuts. Since she had no money for a blender, she squeezed the juice by hand and crushed the fruit using a stone mortar. She set up a sale on an old, rickety wooden table by the main road. At first, no one paid attention to her. Tourists were worried about hygiene, and villagers laughed at her. But Emily didn't give up. She invited people to try free samples. The fresh, pure taste, completely different from bottled drinks, conquered her first customer. Little by little, Emily saved enough to buy an old, second-hand blender. But she knew she needed to learn more. In the region lived Mrs. Patterson, a retired artisan famous for her drinks, but known for being very grumpy. Emily went to ask for an apprenticeship. Mrs. Patterson waved her away. "Young girl, this job is exhausting. Your hands will crack from the fruit acid, and your back will ache from standing all day. You won't last." Emily replied firmly, "I am not afraid of hardship. I am only afraid of living a meaningless life." Seeing Emily's persistence, coming every day to help clean the garden for free, Mrs. Patterson's heart softened, and she taught Emily the secrets of making special fruit sauces. Emily's business began to thrive. She built a lovely little thatched roof stall named Ocean Scent. But the challenges weren't over. A modern juice bar chain with air conditioning opened right across the street. Customers began leaving Emily to sit in the fancy shop. Her sales dropped terribly. Emily was terrified, but she remembered her journey. She realized she couldn't compete with luxury, but she could compete with heart and authenticity. She started writing small notes attached to the cups, telling the story of where the fruit came from and the farmers in the village. She remembered every customer's name and their favorite drink. Slowly, customers returned because they missed the homemade taste and her warm smile. But life seemed to want to test her one last time. A fierce storm suddenly hit the village. Overnight, Emily's Ocean Scent stall was blown away by the wind, leaving only a pile of debris. The next morning, standing in front of the ruins, Emily burst into tears. All her hard work was gone. She thought, maybe fate doesn't want me to succeed. Just as she was about to give up, a neighbor walked by, placed a piece of old tin roofing in her hand, and said, "Rebuild it, child. I will lend a hand." Then a second person came, then a third. The customers she knew, the farmers whose fruit she had helped sell, they all came. Some brought wood, some brought nails, some brought their strength. They told her, "Emily, you never gave up when things were hard, so we won't give up on you now." In that moment, Emily understood the greatest lesson. When you try your absolute hardest, the universe and the community will join hands to help you. 3 months later, Ocean Scent reopened, stronger and more beautiful than before. Emily wasn't just a shop owner, she became the pride of the fishing village. She stood in front of her new shop, looking out at the sea, silently thanking the hardships that had forged her spirit.